Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumple One. Today, I have more questions for F, Forexmospherian. So, F, hope you're listening. You can notice that I've changed a few things on the screen as of you. So we're going to the red and blue candles. You used to use the bars. And you can notice I turned off a couple of the history indicators and got rid of the multi-time frame candle color indicator. So it seems to me that, like you said before, you have a system within a system, and you like to focus on these three LRs. We've got the fast LR15 and LR25, and then we got the thick white LR45, which is a little slower. And according to you, if I'm reading this correctly, you said you can just use these three. And right here, when price starts to cross these LRs or I guess when the LRs cross, is when you enter the trade. Now, I'd asked you to fill out these questions, and the first time, I guess you didn't really understand, and then this time you filled it out a little bit better. But you see here, it has to, everything, what you're saying is has to be turning down. So if that were the case, then you wouldn't enter here. You'd be entering over here. But I guess, see here, see price is still going up. These are turning down, and right here, so you'd make this entry here, and then it'd take you a while, because see, we were within the time frame once again. So it's just not clear, F. It to me, it's not clear, and it makes it difficult to code. So what I'm looking for is just something very specific that I can turn into code and say, okay, if this condition is true and this condition is true, then we have a trade. It doesn't matter how many conditions, whether it's 1 or 100. But then I know you talk about being in support resistance areas. I understand that if we're looking at previous day high low, current day high low, things of that nature. But then again, you start to draw what looks like trend lines, and so that's why I say I think you're kind of going more from the art and feel than from a pure logical science approach. And that's not a put down or a derogatory comment. It's just an observation trying to figure this thing out here. But so what I did was I changed the indicators, the multimeters, to use some semaphores. So we've got the three LRs where it tells you how many are either supporting or either under it or over it. So you see here we got two green, meaning there's two green under it supporting it, meaning it should go up. And with the 9 LR, we've got 5 above it, meaning price should go down. But see, now it just changed. And since 3 and 9 are odd numbers, you're always going to be one or the other. There can't be a tie. So, that being said, we can watch this price action here. And so, to me, right there at the LR, when it crossed the 45, crossed it, closed it, that would have been my entry. And we might agree on that one particular entry. So what I did was I kind of cleaned up the chart. I see how many are supporting right here, and then I just looked for that one little cross and see it was right there at the time. Now I'm wondering, F, one of the questions is, would you ever jump in a minute early or a minute late, or would you pass up? I mean, are you going to adhere to this rule strictly, or is there flexibility? Because I know there's rules, I know you can bend the rules, I know you can break the rules, but I'm just curious what you would do as a trader, how you would trade that. Another observation that I have seen is I count the number of lines that the linear regression line crosses, and these are every 3 pips, because if I remember correctly, when I first started this thread, you were talking about 3 to 5 pip scalps, and you had your lines set at 3 pip increments. So you see here it crossed 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I use as a rule of thumb, you however many it crossed, you subtract 1 from it. So in this case, 4 minus 1 is 3. You can expect it to come back at least 3 lines. So here you got the cross, you got the close below. So you can see here it crossed 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It actually crossed more. So that was a very nice short. And see here, we were going for 3. It came down as it probably started going back up. You could have either taken some or all of the position off. And since it's still below the LR until this point, you could have stayed in the trade, but you can see how this line's still sloping down and price continued down for a while. So those are just a couple of the questions that I've had. And like I said, I changed the candle color indicators to tell you how many of the color in a row. So here you see you got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know we're using blue candles, but it means bull. So you have 4 bull candles in a row on M1, 2 on M5. You can see H1's just turning and H4 is just turning. So that's some of the things I've been doing. And also the LR45, you can see here that it's crossing on this particular bar on M5. It's already above it on M1. It's already above it on M15, but you can see here the higher ones are from M30 up to W1. They're all down. In fact, on the daily, it actually crossed down. Something to take a note of. The monthly, it's still above. But see, right now we've got 7 LRs supporting this, so price should probably continue to rise. 5 on M5, but you see here M15's a 7, so we've got a few more lines to cross before that turns positive. And on H1 and D1 we've got 8s, so it doesn't seem like there's going to be that much of a run to the upside based on the LRs, linear regression lines. So if you could answer those questions, like I said, I'm not trying to give you a hard time, not making criticism. Your commentary is helpful to understand, but to actually put this in the code, I just need you to be more detailed, more specific, because I right at this point, I really can't go further. I think I've squeezed all that I can out of what you've posted so far, but it just seems like we're kind of getting into the art side. I need to come back over to the science side and just have something that's just clear. And maybe we can't. Maybe all of your system can't be coded, but it's obvious there's some pieces that can be. And once again, that would just be to help the trader or aid the trader in finding the next trade. I mean, I'd love to have a multi-pair indicator sitting up here saying where the next trade is getting ready to happen, or based on an LR cross, or price crossing an LR, or LR's crossing, or changing direction, that we've got trades on the horizon. And also, if you could comment on whether or not you would consider these higher time frames. In other words, you're looking here, you can see that the 5 minute is telling you to go long. Okay, now it just said switched over short, because these LRs start to get compressed together so these numbers can change. Would you use this to say, like, now you saw it out, would you use that to bail out of the trade? Because if you got in, you had your 3 pip scalp here, because from here to here is about 6 pips, And with this spread, well, in the euro it's only 2, so you probably had 3, 4, maybe even 5 pips. So F, I'm just curious about if you, because sometimes you talk about M30 charts, so I figure you must be flipping around, but um, I'm just thinking, what's your opinion of this multimeter showing you how many LRs are supporting your trade, either to the short side or the long side? Because see, when I wrote these history indicators, I saw the five. I said, hey, you got 5 over, 4 under. And so when I made the multimeter, it's like, well, yeah, we need to know that here too, so we can see on all time frames, all the different chart periods, exactly where price is in relation to the LR, or where the LR is in relation to price. You can look at it either way. So F, once again, I appreciate all your help and time and effort you're putting into this, and I'm looking forward to hear your response. And maybe you could make a video. This system's really simple to use here, so maybe you can reply with a video. That'd be nice. So, fellow traders, once again, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. The